Have you ever thought, why is mathematics so difficult for some students and easy for others? Or why some students think that math is the worst class ever?
For that, today, with my partner Valerie and me, Rodrigo Martinez, we are going to present the facilities and difficulties of learning mathematics in CCR.
Let's move to the question that motivates this investigation. And for our research was, what are the facilities and difficulties that students in CCR have of learning mathematics? Next, we have the objectives. The general objective is to identify the main reasons why mathematics is difficult for some students and easy for others, from 10th and 11th grade of Campo Real.
The specific objectives are to find out the difficulties that students from 10th and 11th grade of Colegio Bilingüe Campo Real experience when they learn mathematics. To know if the problem with math is a lack of capacity or a poor learning of the subject in students from 10th and 11th grade of Colegio Campo Real. And the last one, to expose the reasons for some Campo Real students of 10th and 11th grade is in mathematics. Methodology and data analysis. Mixed methodology. In this research, a mixed methodology was used, combining both qualitative and quantitative data. The tools included a survey given to 10th and 11th grade students and two interviews. One with a student excelling in mathematics, another with a student struggling with it. The interviews were conducted via Zoom for convenience. The mixed methodology was applied because quantitative data provide insights into how many students like math, their average grade, and which students dislike it. The interviews added in-depth explanation regarding why the students believe they were either good or not good at math.
Now we have our introduction. Mathematics has been seen as a complex subject, creating a controversial view among young people, leading them to avoid careers that involve this difficult subject. There are various reasons why many students like mathematics. Some don't understand it, others blame the teacher, and some lack of solid foundation. External influences can also make young people feel incapable of think that math is only for genius or has no practical use. However, for those studying engineers, math is essential. This research focuses on the opinions of 10th and 11th grade students from Campo Real School, aiming to explore why some students find math more difficult than others. Factors such as the student's attitude and the teacher role, whether positive or negative, are key to understanding performance in mathematics. Now, we move to the interview. The first interview was conducted by my partner, Rodrigo Martinez, to Esteban Guzman, a 10th grade student of Campo Real. And the first question was, why do you think mathematics is easy for you? And he answered, mathematics are easy for me because I like them a lot. I always put all the attention possible every class, and I try to learn by myself too.
The second question was, do you think that the teacher's explanation influenced the understanding of the topic? Why? The answer was, yes, it is important how the teacher gives the class, how encourage the student, and how explain. In the past, I had situations where I did not understand the teacher. From what point of view do you see mathematics and how do you face it when you want to understand a new topic or solve a problem? The answer was, I see mathematics as something very important that will help me in the future, especially with my career and when the topic get difficult for me, I always look for help. For example, my brother and the teacher. And nowadays we have the technology.
And the last question that is, have you had any problems understanding a topic and how did you solve it? And the answer was yes. For example, the factorization cases are one of the themes that are difficult for me the most. In this case, I investigate by myself. I ask questions, read books, and watch videos to be able to do my exercise and understand the topic.
Now we go with the second interview. The second interview was made by my partner Valerie Diaz, and the interviewee was Stella Navarro, an 11th grade student of Campo Real. The first question was, why do you think mathematics is difficult for you? The answer was, do you think that I don't think that mathematics is difficult for me? What is difficult for me are the topics we are watching right now because I don't know some topics that were seen before because I entered to Campo Real in 10th grade and in my previous school I only received math once a week.
The second question was, from what point of view did you see mathematics and how do you face it when you want to understand a new topic or solve a problem? And she answered, I am passionate about mathematics because my logical reasoning is very good and I try to see it from a positive perspective as a challenge, which makes me look for options that can help me solve any problem.
The next question was, have you had any problem understanding a topic and how did you solve it? The answer was, the truth is that many subjects are usually advanced, like algebra classes, due to the gap between my previous school and Campo Real. I look for help, but I almost don't get my teacher. I almost don't get my teacher's help because she is not always willing to help, due to different factors. I mostly use videos and programs, but even so, it has been difficult for me.
And the last question was, do you think that the teacher's explanation influences the understanding of the topic and why? Yes, it is important how the teacher gives the class, how encourage the students, and how explains. In the past, I had situations where I did not understand the teacher. Now, we are going to present to you the survey results. With 10 questions, a survey was passed to 11th and 10th grade students of Campo Real. And the first question was, do you take any extra math classes after school? Yes or no? And here we can see that the most of the students vote that they don't receive any extra class after school.
The second question was, how difficult do you consider mathematics? As we can see in the graphic, the 38.2% of the people say that they they find difficult mathematics as a regular, and with that, like two two out of 55 people consider math easy.
The next question. When you don't understand a topic, do you ask for help or give up? For example, looking for the teacher during recess, help with friends, videos, etc. Yes, I ask for help. No, I give up. Here we can see that 42 out of 45 people ask for help when they don't understand a topic, and the rest only just give up.
The other question was, what is your average in math? As we can see, a 36.4% of people say that their average is between 71 and an 80.
Do you think it is the teacher's fault that the students do not understand mathematics? Yes, no, or maybe. In the graphic, we can see that more than a half of the students think that maybe is teacher's fault. And 32.7% think that don't is teacher's fault. Doesn't it teacher's fault?
How much do you hate math class? As we can see, 43.6% of people hate a little bit math class.
Next question. What are the reasons why you like mathematics? Here we can see that 16 out of 55 people like math because it is fun. And 7 people out of 55 like math because they like solving logical problems. And 20% that don't like don't like them.
How much do you like math class? As we can see, 34.5% of people like considerably the math class.
What are the reasons why you hate mathematics? 18 out of 55 people don't hate math, and 13 out of 55 people hate math because the teacher doesn't explain well.
How many math classes do you have per week? As we can see, most of the students have a math class 4 times per week.
Now that we finished with the survey and the interviews, let's move to the discussion.
So, according to the first interview, um, when Esteban Guzman of the 11th grade says that he doesn't has problems with mathematics. The subject is easy for him because he has a high interest and a good perspective of the subject, because he sees as a tool that will help him develop in a future. For example, in the career he will choose. For problems and topics that he does not understand, he always looks for help. He asks to the teacher, he looks videos, and he reads books. This shows an interest in the subject and an autodidact attitude. For Esteban, the teacher plays an essential role in the understanding of the students in mathematics. The attitude, and the methodology used are very important.
And according to Estela Navarro, 11th grade student that has difficulties with mathematics, for her, mathematics are not a difficult subject. She has a good perspective of her reasoning and analysis skills. Also, she sees the subject as a challenge in a positive way, something that helps in the performance of the students. The problem for her is the absence of the understanding of previous topics because of the difference of academic level between her previous school and Campo Real. Despite of this, when she has a problem with a topic or a problem with the class, she always looks for help and try learn by herself with videos and programs, for example, assuming an autodidactic attitude. For Stella, the teacher plays an important role in the understanding of the subject. The patient to explain and the willing to help the students are very important for this class.
And finally, according to the 10th and 11th grade students who were surveyed, expressed their opinion towards mathematics. Many love it more because it is entertaining, others because it is related to their careers, and others simply do not love it. At Campo Real School, students receive between 4 to 5 mathematics classes. Students say that they hate mathematics because it is difficult for them, because the teacher does not explain correctly, or because it is not related to their university career. 11 and 10th grade students show a linking for mathematics in percentage almost equal to the other half of students who hate it, inferring that the students' point of view is not all positive toward mathematics, connecting this information with previously researched information on how the attitude towards problems often define the results.
Uh, Now we have our conclusions.
And the first
The first
conclusion,
conclusion.
it is important to mark that the low interest, the poor methodology, and the explanation used by the teacher, the lack of understanding of previous topics, and difference level from previous school represents for the students difficulties when learning mathematics. The second conclusion was that it can be mentioned that there is no lack of capacity, something very important to know. There is only a poor learning of the subject caused by the lack of understanding of previous topics and the difference level from previous school. And finally, the last conclusion was that it can be inferred that the high interest in this subject, the vision as a tool for the future, the positive perspective of it, and a self-taught attitude represents a need for the students in mathematics.
Now we have the recommendations based in the conclusions. First one, it is crucial that students be independent with certain subjects, as well as receive classes in a conscious manner and complete assignments in the same way. The second one, it should be considered if they perceive a lower level in their math classes than they had at their previous school, they should contact their teachers so that they can reinforce certain topics as well as ask for help from classmates and use explanatory videos. And the last recommendation that we have, it is important for students who have a self-taught attitude and see it in a positive way. They should guide their other classmates who have difficulties with mathematics so that they can perform better in that area and change that negative perspective of the subject. For the last one, we have the links where you can watch our interviews, the first one and the second one in YouTube. And that was all. Thank you for your time, for your attention here. We hope you like this presentation, and thank you for everything.